In 2010, a survey by the Social Welfare Department leaves us with these details. 1,387 homeless people in Kuala Lumpur. Now, if you take that figure, measure it against the population of Kuala Lumpur, it does leave one with the impression that we do not have a problem of homelessness, Kuala Lumpur and the country. The question is this the case? Do we, in fact, have a problem of homelessness in Kuala Lumpur and in the country? Now, in the studio with me today, to shed some light on these questions, on my right, Anne Uy, better known as Auntie Berse. On my left, Pete Nickel from Reach Out. Now, let me start with you, Pete. Very quickly, before you tell us about whether or not we have a problem with homelessness in the country, share with us first about yourself and the work in Reach Out.
Thanks very much for letting me come on this morning, Haris. This is a very serious issue that we have here. For me, I've been here 15 years now living in Malaysia. I've been coming up and down to your country for the last 34 years. I'm married here. My wife is Malayan. She's also the co-founder of Reach Out with me. Reach Out itself, I started 8 years ago. We've been operating every single day without fail in Kuala Lumpur and also in Klang. We operate street feeding programs for the homeless. We operate programs helping the poor, disadvantaged, orphanages, old people's homes, things like that. The idea behind Reach Out was that it had to be a people's movement. It had to be a movement where we allowed people who wanted to do something to actually be able to come and do it without fear of religion or fear of politics, which we found a lot of in Malaysia, because we found that there were barriers there that stopped people actually doing this kind of work. So we wanted anybody to come and help those who are in need at this particular time.
All right, so just to take you back to what you said, Reach Out is a feed program. Would that be right?
Yeah, it's actually a program to eradicate poverty in all its kinds, whether it be homelessness, whether it be orphans, whether it be people who are unemployed trying to find jobs. Because the idea behind Reach Out is actually to get these people off the street, is to reintegrate them back into society rather than just giving them food and keeping them on the street.
Okay, let me bring you into this, Anne. First, 1,387 homeless in Kuala Lumpur based on the Social Welfare Department statistics, number one. And Minister Rohani Karim, that's the Minister of Women, Family and Community Development, she says these people are lazy and they are out on the streets begging because they want an easy life. Now, first of all, do we have a serious problem in this country? Very quickly, and is the minister right in depicting these people as just being lazy layabouts who just want an easy life? Do we have a serious problem in this country? I'll come back to you on that, Pete.
We do. People coming into KL are searching for life. But basically, there are also so many needs. Drug dependents, sex workers, plus gambling addicts, plus others. They are on the streets. They are on the streets and they are not going anywhere until we do something about it. What she says, or what people do not know, they speak from higher above. If they don't walk the streets, if they do not come down in the night, they won't see it. So from higher up there, wherever they are, they can't talk. They can't just talk. They have to come down. Not during the day. In the night, you can see them sleeping everywhere.
Okay, let me just stop you there for a while. You've said, yes, we have a serious problem. Pete, is Anne right? Do we have a serious problem with homelessness in the country?
Yes, there is. What is more concerning is not just the seriousness of the problem just now. The problem for us is that we actually can see this becoming worse and worse and worse every day. Malaysia has an opportunity to actually fix this, unlike other countries, developed nations, who are actually trying to retrofit and trying to retrofix this problem. Malaysia has an opportunity right now to fix it if it takes the right course of action. Because as you develop, you tend to find that the gap between those that have and those that do not have gets bigger. So actually Malaysia is in a prime position to eradicate poverty down to its lowest possible level, and could in fact be the example for other countries who are suffering the same issues right now.
Yeah, but you talk about eradicating poverty. Government says poverty is down to 1.6%.
You quoted figures from 2010 there. Those figures from 2010 was actually the ministry who came out with Reach Out. We worked with them for 7 days. In that 7 days, we went to about 70% of the areas that we cover. Never mind the rest of the NGOs that are out there. So actually those figures do not accurately reflect, in our opinion, the real situation. And I'll give you another example right now. We've seen about a 35% increase in the number of homeless sleeping on the streets of KL since Raya this year.
35% increase?
35% since Raya this year, so in the last 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay, and Pete works through Reach Out, and you mentioned just now, you said, you know, pointers making comments from high up there come down to the streets at night. So can you just very quickly share with us what have you been doing on the streets, and is this at night?
Yeah, I have joined groups and been given opportunities with Street Shepherd Outreach. I've gone into the kitchens, soup kitchens, and I've been just watching per TV do their work and reach out to. I join any group that walks the streets at night. I do it alone. What was the question again?
Well, no, you said don't talk from high up there.
Yes.
Come down to the streets and come down at night. So I'd like you to share with us, yeah, you've been out there on the streets at night. What precisely you're doing? What precisely are you doing on the streets?
I'm searching for the poor, where authorities say that they don't exist, that there is no need to feed the poor.
And where do you find them? Can you tell us where specifically?
Back lanes. Go to all the back lanes, please. Just go into all the back lanes during the day, but come out at night. Come out at night at 2, 3, and you will see them. They are all over the place.
2, 3 in the morning?
Yeah.
All right, I want to take this back to Pete. Reach Out, is it about the same time that you go out feeding the street people?
Yeah, we're out from about 10:30 every evening through till about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and Anne's absolutely right. But they're also quite visible at night. You can find them sleeping, for example, at Kotaraya. You can find them sleeping at Segi. You can find them sleeping at Bangkok Bank. So there are areas where they are quite visible. You just need to come out and see them. If I had a ringgit for every time somebody had told me there are no homeless in KL because I haven't seen one, I'd actually be quite a rich guy. You just need to get out and look, and you will find them. Anne's absolutely correct.
And all right, let's go back to what the minister said. These are lazy people who taken to a life of begging because they want an easy way out. Pete?
No, absolutely not. I think there's a double-edged sword here. The first one is that there is a denial. There's a denial that we have this poverty issue in Malaysia. And secondly, there's then a demonization of those that find themselves in poverty. We have no backpackers, tourists coming and getting food from us. We don't have freeloaders because we know who these people are and we've been dealing with them all the time. The majority of people that we deal with are people who actually come into Kuala Lumpur. About 99% of them are not from the city. Who come in from every other state, from Kedah and Perlis and Kelantan and Terengganu and from Negri Sembilan and Johor, because they come here looking for work and to try and get a higher disposable income than they have at the moment. The great misconception is that they're lazy. They're not. A lot of these guys and girls are working. The problem is that they don't have a good enough education to be able to give them employment that gives them a sustainable income. So they work in part-time jobs, odd jobs for 500 or 600 ringgit per month. 70% of it, which they actually send home because they're supporting siblings going through school, they're supporting elderly parents, so they're stuck in that low income. So they're not lazy, they're trying really, really hard to make a life better for themselves.
And the price of petrol has gone up, and we're expecting that that will impact the cost of most other essential items. And is this going to further impact our street friends?
Price of petrol?
Yeah.
Price
of petrol, and I mean, people are saying it's going to impact, logically, impact the cost of essential items. Is this then going to further impact our friends on the street?
They do not have anything at all at the moment. Where prices go up, where petrol price goes up, where anything goes up, they're already in that state of hopelessness, helplessness. Definitely. Here we are looking out for them, where job opportunities are available by Religion of Love, the group that offers them shelter plus work opportunities. Of course it's going to impact them so much. The food that is available, that is the food packets that come from Pertiwi, that come from all the kind-hearted souls, families and the individuals, right? That's what is so basic, that one meal a night. Definitely is going to impact them. What else can society do?
We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that in a while. And I want to go back to what you said just now, Pete. You said Malaysia is primed right now to do something effective. Now, I keep hearing this. I was looking up this issue of homelessness and this phrase, ops gelandangan, and they keep talking about ops gelandangan equates to tahan lepas, detain, release. First, can you, between you and share with the viewers, what is this ops gelandangan, one, and number two, what can the government do to start to make things a little better for our friends on the street? Let's start with you, Pete.
I think that the first thing is to get out of denial, to admit that there is a problem and look at the strategies required to actually deal with those problems. Enforcement is not the answer. It doesn't solve the problem.
When you say enforcement, what precisely do you mean?
Detention, release, detention, release. What you've got is you've got an issue where you will arrest these people, they're back on the street within 24 hours.
Just so that people understand, is this arrest pursuant to the Destitute Persons Act 1977?
From what I've seen, the law, the Destitute Persons Act, is the law that is used, but I've not seen the law being prescribed correctly. I'm an ex-police officer. I know the law very well. Also, I know the law in Malaysia very well. There are requirements and provisos within that law that I have not seen being enacted by enforcement officers during these operations against the homeless, and that's of great concern as well, because the law says that you have to take to a magistrate within, or the earliest possible opportunity after someone has been detained. There is a detention order, and then there are social welfare reports. What actually happens is that the person gets arrested, taken to a facility, held for 12 to 24 hours, and then released back onto the street again.
This is ops gelandangan?
This is all of the ops. I mean, virtually every Friday there is an operation of some kind taking place in Kuala Lumpur.
So the authorities come in, detain, take them to a holding facility, hold them for about 12 hours, and then they're released.
That's correct.
That's it?
That's it.
And this has been going on for quite a while now?
About 6-7 years now.
And you've also witnessed this, Anne?
Yeah, during the day, 6 p.m. It can be late at night. Of course, it's mostly late at night, but all through. The police know that they can get money. Whoever agents and all that can just grab 20 people, put them in a van, and just frighten them in the what, and then flick whatever they can from them. Can be anybody.
And all right, Pete, you were saying a little while ago, we are primed to do something. Share with us, what should the government be doing to help our friends on the street?
We gave the government about 6-7 years ago a strategy paper on how to eradicate poverty, particularly the street people type of issue. We also helped the Commentarian find the premises. This is now what is now called the Anjun Singha building in Jalan Hang Lekyu. We wrote the strategy paper. We helped find the building, which was owned by Yayasan Kebajikan Negara. We then did all of the necessary budgetary paperwork for that and gave that to the ministry, and then nothing happened from it. We then found out later that actually YKN themselves decided to take over.
YKN being
Yayasan Kebajikan Negara
Alright.
actually decided to take over the running of that building and excluded the NGOs and excluded Reach Out, whose initial idea this was. What my point is that the strategy to have proper centres located in the cities for the homeless to be able to come to for short-term accommodation, to be able to get a meal, but the facility must also provide all of the necessary resources for simple things like immigration, to get ICs for those that don't have. For Bandaraya to be there to also get housing allocations for these people. Also to have prospective employers from the corporate world come there and offer employment.
Right.
That's the solution that is not being looked at the moment.
Okay. And what would you like to see the government do? Very quickly.
The government needs to provide at the moment now trolleys for every homeless person, free lockers for everyone so that they don't lose any more of their ICs. The government needs to just come down and walk. People who have lost their ICs, I don't expect them to go to Putrajaya to get it. Right? You come down to the streets to do the ICs for them. You see the need. If you don't come down, you never see any need. You have to walk the streets with us. You have to come down odd hours, not stay there. They need medication. You have to come down and do the attending of the source. Kachara is doing it once a week. It's not enough. We send them to the clinics, to the hospitals. It's still not good enough. You from the clinics have to come down. You have lots of things to do. They need sleeping places. Anjung Singha is a den of thieves. Why are you trying to throw a hotel at us and in Chowkit? What does that mean? The homeless can run buildings that are not that are vacant, they can do it themselves without you coming onto the scene. Just provide us the empty spaces, the empty buildings. Let them run. Let them do it. The homeless are ready to do it.
I've got to stop you there because I've only got time for one more important question. And I think this is something everybody asks again and again. I'm going to start with you, Pete, and then Anne, I'm going to turn to you. Why do you continue to do this? Why do you continue to go out, you and your volunteers, night after night after night? Why? What drives you to do this?
Because we have to. Because if we don't, these people don't have enough to eat. These people don't have the opportunity to get off the street. You have to be out there to give them that opportunity. These guys are not looking for sympathy, right? These guys are looking for a little bit of help. They're looking for someone to be able to give them the opportunity to get off the street. And that's why we do it every single day without fail, because they deserve it. And they're people the same as us. They haven't done anything wrong. We're the ones that have done something wrong by creating this problem. So actually it's up to us to be able to do something to try and fix it the best that we can.
And I've known you to be a one-woman crusader. You're fighting every cause that needs to be fought. But here, you're on the streets, you tell me you are out there at night, every other night. Why? What's driving you to continue this work with our friends on the streets?
Everyone needs a second chance. Everyone. Everyone needs to be up and standing on their feet. I'm fighting the police. I'm fighting all negative forces that knock these people down. I will give whistles to everyone to blow at the police when they come around collecting anything. Whistles, just whistles. And then again, I want everyone to be given help. I would like open grills like in Australia where they can cook a fish anywhere in town. You are depriving these homeless people of their right to live, of the right to move around. Homelessness is not a crime. Being homeless, like in a twinkle of an eye, if I am made homeless and I go down to the street, am I a criminal? No way. No way is homelessness being a crime. We are not looking towards the needs of the really, really destitute. So, what can society do? Because society can do a lot. Just give them a chance to move up again. Society needs to come out and be kind. Just be kind to everyone that needs a helping hand.
And I'm going to have to stop you there. And Pete, thank you so much for sharing your time with us this morning.
Thank you.
And I really hope we can get you back here again and perhaps to continue with this very, very important discussion on how to help our friends on the streets.
Be a great pleasure.
Thank you for this.
Thank you. You may not agree with everything that's been said on the show. That's okay. We'll agree to disagree. Hope to see you all again soon. Thank you.